Imagine waking up one morning, walking to the bakery, and realizing the bread you bought yesterday for 1 mark now costs 1 million. Your savings, gone, your salary, worthless before the day even ends. People aren't carrying wallets anymore. They're pushing wheelbarrows full of cash just to buy food. Children are stacking banknotes like toy blocks. Families are burning money in their stoves because it's cheaper than firewood. This isn't fiction. This actually happened in Germany during the collapse of the Weimar Hyperinflation. And today, economists are asking a terrifying question: could it happen again? After World War I, Germany was shattered. The empire had collapsed. The economy was crippled, and the new government, the Weimar Republic, was drowning in debt. Under the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was forced to pay massive war reparations, billions of gold marks, money the country simply didn't have. So the government made a decision that would destroy the economy. Instead of earning money, they started printing it. At first, it seemed harmless. But once a nation begins printing money faster than it creates real wealth, the currency begins to die. And when a currency dies, society follows. In the early 1920s, the German mark began losing value slowly. At first, people barely noticed. Prices went up a little, salaries increased slightly, life continued. But inflation is like a small crack in a dam. Ignore it long enough, and eventually the entire wall collapses. By 1921, the German government was printing enormous amounts of paper money. Factories couldn't produce enough goods, but money kept multiplying. That meant one thing: more money chasing fewer products. Prices began rising faster, then faster, then faster, until the system started breaking. By 1923, the situation had turned insane. In 1919, $1 equals 4 German marks. By late 1923, $1 equals 4.2 trillion marks. Let that sink in. Trillions. Workers demanded to be paid twice a day, because by evening, their morning salary was already worthless. Restaurants stopped printing menus. Prices changed every hour. Shops sometimes refused money entirely. They wanted food, coal, or foreign currency instead, because paper marks had become meaningless. Money, the foundation of the economy, had collapsed. One of the most famous images from this era shows a man pushing a wheelbarrow filled with banknotes. Not wealth, just paper. That pile of cash might buy a loaf of bread. In some cities, children played with bundles of money in the streets because the paper itself had no value. In fact, criminals began stealing the wheelbarrows, not the money inside them. Farmers refused to sell food to cities. Why? Because by the time they spent the cash, it would already be worthless. The entire economic system was collapsing in real time. When money collapses, people stop trusting everything. Savings vanish overnight. The middle class is wiped out. Life savings become useless paper. Pensioners starve. Workers riot. Crime explodes. In Germany, desperation spread everywhere. Political extremists began gaining followers. Radical groups promised simple answers to a broken system. And history would soon show how dangerous that desperation could become. Hyperinflation doesn't just destroy an economy, it destroys belief. Imagine spending your entire life saving money only to wake up and realize your savings can't buy bread. Trust disappears. People stop planning for the future. Why save money if it will be worthless tomorrow? Businesses stop investing. Workers stop caring. The economy enters a death spiral. Once confidence disappears, recovery becomes almost impossible. In late 1923, the German government finally realized the disaster. They introduced a new currency, the Rentenmark. Unlike the old paper mark, this currency was backed by real assets, land and industry. Money printing stopped. Confidence slowly returned. Prices stabilized. But the damage was done. Millions of people had lost everything. And the political consequences would echo through history. The hyperinflation of Germany remains one of the most extreme economic collapses ever recorded. Economists still study it today for one reason. It shows how fragile modern money really is. Currency isn't just paper, it's trust. If people believe the currency has value, it works. The moment that belief disappears, the system collapses. Some analysts today warn about similarities: massive government debt, money creation by central banks, rising inflation pressures. The United States now carries over $30 trillion in national debt. Critics argue that excessive money printing could weaken the United States dollar over time. However, there is a crucial difference. The US dollar is the world's reserve currency. Global trade depends on it, which gives it far more stability than Weimar Germany ever had. Still, history shows that no currency is immortal. The lesson of the Weimar collapse isn't just about economics, it's about human behavior. When governments print money recklessly, they may delay problems temporarily, but eventually the bill comes due. Inflation quietly steals wealth. Hyperinflation destroys entire societies. The line between the two can be thinner than people realize. History rarely repeats itself exactly, but it often rhymes. The people of 1923 Germany learned a brutal truth. A currency doesn't collapse overnight. First, the value fades, then trust disappears, then the system breaks. By the time people realize what's happening, it's already too late. The currency dies first, and everything else follows. If you want more deep documentaries about the hidden forces shaping our world, subscribe to the channel. Because some of the biggest threats to our future aren't wars. They're economic collapses we don't see coming. And the next story might be even more shocking.